He was in with someone who was several levels above where he's boxed before. He took his time. I thought it was a little bit too passive early, too much respect. But then looking back, now he got the stoppage. I love the patience. I love that he didn't panic, you know. And I think that he's a fantastic talent. You also start looking in the fight and think he's 22, you know. And then at the same time, tough because he's top 10 with every governing body. He's top 3 with the WBO, and he's in those big fights. Support was great. He's going to continue to grow here, but you know he punches very, very hard. And what the most impressive thing about Diego is his accuracy when he has someone hurt. And I thought that was impressive tonight. And once he got his confidence and started to back Caceres up, I thought it was a fantastic performance.
I've been beating the drum since Edgar Berlanga joined Matchroom, but I feel like that's the fight, man. 168 pounds. They're both young. They're Mexican Puerto Rican rivalry. I mean, that's, what else do you need?
I love the fight as well. I mean, and also when you think about it now, I get that Edgar Berlanga obviously. Come on, Dave. Edgar Berlanga is going to want big names, if you like, but also if he's not fighting a big name, you've got a guy here who's top 10 with every governing body, top 3 with the WBO. So if you're going to pick someone from the rankings, for me that's a big fight. I do think I'm not a fan of marinating fights, but that fight is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it will get to a stage for Edgar where that fight starts to become attractive, because one of the things is people are going to look at him and say, do I want to get beat by a young 22-year-old, I can't even say prospect anymore, contender? But I think it's a tremendous fight.
Diego, congratulations, man. Just I was talking to Eddie about it, but I feel like the congratulations on the fight, first on the win and everything, but kind of looking forward, I feel like the Edgar Berlanga fight is kind of makes the most sense, right? Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry. You guys are both same weight class, top 10,
same promoter.
Right?
Eddie,
what else do we need?
You can ask Eddie. I've been telling him about that fight, man. I mean, that's what I'm in the sport for. That's what I'm here for, to take on the big fights and really get my name to being number one. And to get to number one, I have to take those fights. And I feel, if you ask me, I'm ready for those fights, But obviously, Matchroom and DAZN, they're the best at building fighters and building superstars. So I trust them, and then whatever they think is the next move, I'll be ready.
Last one for me, man. Just looking at the fight, Eddie said that maybe you took a little bit of time, maybe too much respect in the beginning. Just how did the fight play out for yourself? What did you think? How did you think?
Oh yeah, I was being a little patient in the beginning. My team told me to do what I do, stay calm, control the fight, not let the crowd get to me here at home, and that's what I try to do. I try to stay patient, try to not give him anything, not give him any confidence, and in the middle rounds, I try to pick it up a little bit, and I heard him in that 8th round, and when I came back to the corners, Jose Sr. told me he's ready to get out of there, but don't get crazy, be smart, and yeah, I got him out of there in the 9th round.
Diego, congrats on the victory, obviously impressive, again, getting a stoppage win, but what message do you have to Edgar Berlanga?
He knows what it is. I'm here, but I really don't care about him, what he has going on. Today was my night, and just happy with the outcome.
What are your thoughts, obviously, headlining here at, your hometown, South Central LA?
It's great, like Eddie said, I'm probably one of the only fighters who was able to headline this year in 3 different countries, UK, Mexico, and out here in LA, in my hometown, and just happy with the support, happy with how everything's been going, and just excited for the future.
Obviously, how would you adjust? Obviously, how would you judge? Obviously, you were with Eddie, from day one when he flew you out to Chicago, you signed that deal. How's that relationship between you two, and what does the future bring for you?
It's great, I'm extremely grateful for the opportunities they've given me since I was 17. I remember you were the first person to ever interview me there when he brought me out to Chicago. And yeah, man, it's just been a great journey. I can't believe it's been 5 years already, but yeah, extremely happy with how things are going. Now I'm 20-0, and I'm a future star in boxing.
Diego, what do you think about that Jaime Munguia fight in the future?
It's another great fight. There's a lot of amazing fights to be made in the future. Jaime Munguia, another great fighter. If you ask me, I feel I beat him the same way I just did with Caceres. And any other guy you would name, I think I'd come out on top. I feel I'm really a special fighter, and little by little you guys will see it. This is another step-up fight, and I rose to the occasion and got the job done.
Diego, I was going to say, Diego, you call in Gallegos, now Caceres. What does it say about your level of opposition that you really stepped up after every fight?
Well, every fight you guys see I'm getting better. I'm obviously getting older, I'm getting smarter. With the experience is coming, my man strength is kicking in, all the good things. So you know, I just want to keep showing the boxing world that I'm keeping the same level of performance, even though the opposition is going up. You know, I'm only going to keep getting better with the fights, with the experience, and yeah, man, just you know, Diego Pacheco time is here.
How much confidence do you get sparring David Benavidez on a regular basis?
Good confidence, you know. David, you know, we always work. You know, we've been working for about 3 years now. You know, I've been part of all of his camps except for this one, you know, because Andrade is a southpaw. But extremely happy. You know, I'm in the gym with him every day. You know, I learn a lot from him, and we're always trying to help each other get better. And yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to keep learning and keep getting better, because I'm always a student of the game. And yeah, man, I know there's always room for improvement.
Eddie, what's up, Pat, to make Diego Pacheco a superstar in boxing?
I think he's in a perfect strategy, perfect line. You know, I think building nicely here. That was his first fight in Los Angeles. We had a good crowd tonight. Room for improvement and room just to keep pushing him forward. He's never going to be a guy that's going to roll out of nightclubs and start screaming and shouting at everyone. So the great news is you've got a good role model here for the kids from South Central and Los Angeles. But you've got a young American fighter, you know, Hispanic background, Mexican background, who can really fight, who can punch, and who is only 22 years old. So, you know, part of me don't want to get it wrong. You know, I still feel like there's improvements that need to be made. He knows that, but he's only going to get better. And it's frightening to think that at 22, he could have another 3 fights before he starts thinking about world championships. And the improvements that he's going to make in 2024, you know, he's already top 10 with every governing body, top 3 with a WBO. And sometimes, you know, when Canelo Alvarez moves up or doesn't fight a mandatory, options to fight for a world title become available. So we got to be ready for that in 2024. For me, it's more like 2025. But next year, I love the names that we mentioned, you know, Munguia, Edgar Berlanga, those places, you know, they fill out venues much bigger than this, obviously. You know, a fight with Jaime Munguia, for example, is a massive fight in Los Angeles. Huge.
Diego, ¿qué mensaje le tienes a Munguia si ves este mensaje en español?
No, pues respeto para él, es un peleador muy bueno, pero aquí vengo yo también, Diego Pacheco, vengo a hacer mi historia y vengo a pelear con los mejores, so acá ahí va a llegar el turno para enfrentarnos nosotros.
¿Será una pelea clásica, no? Sur Centro contra Tijuana.
No, será una pelea que yo estoy seguro será una de las mejores de este tiempo y yo estoy listo cuando mi promotor me diga que se va a hacer la pelea y voy a estar para responder.
Eddie, would that be easier fight to make, the fight against Munguia?
Yeah, the problem is, like I said, yeah, a lot of these guys, Edgar, Jaime, they're looking at the big names in the division because they've built up their record now and they want to gamble in big fights for big money. So if I was them, I'd probably be looking at Diego Pacheco going, 22, it's a tough fight, he's not a massive name yet, it's high risk, low reward, yeah? But then if you're going to pick a guy from the top 10 and you're not in a massive fight, then if you're not picking Diego Pacheco, you really just don't want to fight him. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's best for us not to start calling people out, not to start upsetting people or ruffling feathers, just going about our business nice and quietly, well, loudly from me, but quietly from Diego, and just continuously. I think next opponent should be someone that you guys and the fans go, wow, oof, he's you know, he's making his step in the top 15 now. And you know, I think tonight was the perfect bit of matchmaking. And I think Caceres, you know, he really prepared well for the fight. He had a lot of notice for that fight, and he came to win. You know, in the end, he had the heart punched out of him because he didn't want to take any more punishment. But you know, in those middle rounds, he got caught too much, and that was nice to see him getting hit. Not nice, but in a way nice by a guy that can punch a little bit, because you can't afford to do that as you step up the level. So for me, the perfect opponent, perfect learning fight as well, and in the end, the perfect performance and finish.
Eddie, YouTube theater, great crowd. Would you like to bring Diego back again here, or even like Carson or Staples Center?
Yeah, I think this is a really nice home for him. You know, there's another tier that we can open. You know, I think we had 2,500 in here tonight. We can probably get it to 3,500, something like that. Next time it will be sold out, and then you just keep on going from there. You know, this guy will be selling out Staples Center. He'll be selling out Forum, wherever we go, in the next 9, 12, 15 months. You know, I think we've still got to build the story after tonight, just people talk. You know, we've got to get him out more, we've got to get him in front of the media, and we've got to get people talking about his names in all of those fights that we talked about, and they will. You know, you see it across social media, everybody's talking about the Munguia fight, the Berlanga fight. They're excited to see him in those kind of fights, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, to have a young man like this at 22, 20-0, you know, I think, you know, we definitely picked the right 17-year-old.
Diego, I know you said that you don't care about what Berlanga's doing, what he says, but he watched your fight tonight and he was live tweeting, and he did say that he wished that Coceres had fought him like he fought you, and then it would have been a different story and he would have knocked him out. What do you take from him looking at your fight and saying that he would have done the same if Coceres had fought him that way?
You know, I don't know, man. It was a tough fight for him when he fought him. You know, and Coceres, you know, I mean, maybe he's right a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. Berlanga, get in the ring with me, bro.
What's the confidence that you get? The fact that he did say that, kind of, you know, maybe throwing a little salt on your performance, being that you did knock him out and he's the power puncher and did it.
Yeah, but you see, I made Coceres look that way. You know, Coceres had a 3-4 months notice. You know, he knew what fight he was coming for. He prepared, but you know, it's the styles. You know, he couldn't do anything against me. You know, Berlanga, he's a one-dimensional fighter. You know, it's a lot easier to do things against him and things that you can't do against me. You know, so I think that's what the difference was.
Talk about the confidence that you get, that, you know, you did get the KO, right? And he did.
I mean, I feel the same way I did before the fight. You know, I know what I bring to the table. I know my skills. You know, I've been in the ring with all the top guys, and you know, I know sparring is different, but you know, everyone knows what I'm about. You know, and those few punches he caught me with, man, it was really nothing. You know, it didn't really faze me. You know, I did. You know, I thought about just keeping my hands up a little bit more, but you know, I'm glad that happened. You know, it's some good shots he hit me with, but it was really nothing.
How will that fight play out between you and Berlanga? You mentioned that he's a one-dimensional fighter.
Just control the fight from round one to whenever I get him out of there, because I break him down, and he makes a lot of mistakes as well, you know, so I think I'd be able to get him out of there in, I say, like 6 to 8 rounds.
You think that'll be another, you know, classic chapter to the Mexico, you know, Puerto Rico rivalry?
For sure. You know, he has a great fan base. You know, he's a fighter who's built his name. You know, he's done a lot of great things in his young career, and you know, it'll be a great fight when it happens.
Is that a fight that has to take place here in LA, or are you willing to go to New York and maybe?
I'm willing to fight anywhere. You know, as long as there's a ring and there's a ref and judges. You know, I'm here to do my job.
Diego, one of the judges had the fight a draw until the 8th round. Were you surprised about that?
What?
He had it pretty even, yes.
Really?
Yes, one of the judges.
Yeah, that's surprising. Oh no, somebody got to check him.
What do you think of a name by fighter by the name of Eric Barsinian as a future opponent?
Canadian fighter.
Yes.
He's a good fighter as well. He has a lot
He's
of skills.
undefeated, 31-0.
He has a lot of skills. That'd be another great fight. You know, like I said, man, I'm here to fight the best, and you know, with time, all those fights will be made.
Eddie, is that a possible fight to be made?
Yeah, but the
against
problem
Eric
is with
Barsinian?
him, he's built his record up to 31-0, and he's just looking for a big fight for big money. He's not really going to want to fight someone like Diego Pacheco.
22-year-old young man.
Exactly.
When can we see back Diego back in action?
I think in the spring. You know, obviously he's done now. He's got a baby on the way. What's the due date?
February 17th.
There you go. So I think
Thank you.
start training maybe just before that. Get back in the gym, and then we'll give him a day off for the birth. You know, straight back in. But I don't want to lose the momentum. I mean, he must box a minimum of 3 times next year. Minimum. 4 would be nice, but definitely 3. So, you know, March, April time back in the ring, and in the summer, and then maybe it could be a really big fight at the end of next year.
Yeah, I stay in the gym year round, man. I mean, boxing is all I do. When I'm not boxing, I'm like not doing anything else. I'm just at the house sitting there, and I get bored of sitting at the house, so I go to the gym. So I'll be ready whenever.
You won't be bored after February.
Yeah, you won't be bored after your baby.
Be up all day.
Any more questions, guys?
Diego, ¿qué mensaje tienes para la afición mexicana que está siguiendo?
No, pues muy contento con el apoyo. Muchas gracias a toda la raza que me sigue apoyando, y aquí tienen a un nuevo estrella aquí de Los Ángeles, y venimos con todo y por todos.
¿Y sobre un posible combate entre México y Puerto Rico con Berlanga?
Sí, esa pelea con el tiempo se va a hacer. Sería una pelea muy buena y yo estoy listo.
¿Qué opinas ahora sobre pelear con mexicanos?
Yo contra mexicanos,
Con mundial.
es boxeo. Si yo peleo con quien sea, peleo con el que me diga, no importa de dónde es o quién sea, yo estoy listo para pelear. Gracias.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.